Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Gamestyle Live. We still hate the name and we will continue wanting to changing it, but other people like it, so it's Gamestyle Live for a bit. Um, you'll notice today I'm missing somebody. I'm joined by Andrew, um, but we are missing Steve, who I won't go into detail about where he's been, just in case he doesn't want us to. But he's due to unforeseen circumstances. He's not here tonight. So make do with me and Andrew. So how are things?
I am very well, thank you. Always well here. It's been a good week, really. It's always been good. I think we should probably start by thanking Kyle again for coming on last week, which was brilliant. And yeah, always well.
Yeah. Bit selfish of him not to come on again this week, like, but you know.
I'm sure he's tuning in. I'm sure he was there on the dot.
I'm sure he is. Which reminds me, I need to listen to these ones. I need to see if he actually played "Don't Die, Mr. Robot" and mentioned it, because that'd be awesome. So it's going to be a shorter than usual episode tonight because it is just the two of us. We're winding down to the end of the year. Everyone's knackered. So about 30 minutes. We'll close up for the year and let you know what's coming next year. So it's Christmas. We're a gaming podcast stroke live web YouTube show. So Andrew, gaming related Christmas gifts. Go.
Well, I think I'll go back to the very start. My very first console was received as a Christmas gift. I remember walking around Dixon's, I think, and seeing a Game Gear and thinking that was a good idea because I never got a one that connected to the TV because my parents didn't want to give up space on the TV. And then when an impressive little colour handheld thing was decided upon, that seemed like a great idea. So I said I wanted one of those, and clearly they agreed. Or you know, whoever delivers presents agreed. And yeah, so my first console was a Christmas present. I got a Game Gear and the 4-in-1 games cartridge with it, with a version of Columns on it, which was better than the actual version of Columns, and a copy of Sonic 1. And I went to bed on Christmas night that night saying, if I close my eyes and cover my ears, I can hear the music and see the screen of the Game Gear. And then the next day, I wasn't allowed to play on it so much. So here's a Gamestyle top tip. If you've got any kids receiving a Vita or a 3DS this year, don't listen to what they say, because you'll spoil Boxing Day for them. Go on, your turn. What's your opening Christmas?
To be honest, I'm trying to struggle. I don't actually remember getting many gaming related gifts for Christmas, so I'm useless with this. Christmas usually involved going to my nan's. She didn't believe in video games, so we didn't play video games on Christmas Day. I'm pretty sure I've had something once or twice and then got home, but nothing that really stands out. I've had great birthdays, if that counts.
If you're Jesus, that's entirely acceptable.
For this conversation, yes, I am. Let's pretend I am.
Okay, excellent.
No, the best gaming related gift I ever got was I got given. My mum's a big wind up. She's always been a big wind up when it comes to presents. I got given Spectrum 128K, the black one with the deck loader. Been asking for it for ages, and I got it with Operation Wolf. And the light gun. And I got stroppy because there was nothing to play it on, because my mother had always said, you are not watching this, or you're not playing video games on the big TV when I've got stuff to watch. So I got into a strop about it, got given that at the start of the day, continued to shop throughout my birthday until my uncle turned up with what if I remember correctly, was one of his old TVs. He just got a new TV, but he turned up with a TV that was going in my bedroom that could be hooked up to my Spectrum 128K with Operation Wolf. So yeah, that was probably the my greatest gaming gift. I've if you're gonna go back, it wasn't for my birthday, but I got the Atari 2700 was my very first games console. Um, and yeah, that was great. I'd been begging for one for ages, Kept my mother at the time kept saying, "No, games are bad for you. You can't have games." She never believed it, but she just liked to wind me up still. And I came home one day from school, and there was an Atari sitting there with Defender, Cuba, and Centipede. And that was the greatest day of my life, including today and including the birth of my son.
Good. That is truly the spirit of Christmas.
Yes. None of
Yeah.
that happened in December at all.
But we are pretending it did for the sake. We'll fix it in post. It's fine. It's fine.
I did get an Xbox 360 controller about 4 or 5 years ago.
And how did that work out for you?
We had to go to my partner's parents in Burton for Christmas, and then to my family the next day. So I didn't actually get to use this, which I opened there on Christmas Day, but I didn't actually get to use that controller for about another 3 days. I'm sorry, that story doesn't exist.
No, I've always had a quite gaming related Christmas. Really, it was more the opposite for me. It was more Christmas than birthdays for receiving gaming stuff. A few years after the Game Gear, I got a Mega Drive, and then a few years after that, I got a Saturn for Christmas, which was great, apart from the fact that the aerial connection was broken, so I could actually only play it in black and white, which was a suitably retro experience for a brand new console. Spent pretty much all of the Christmas Day and Boxing Day playing Sega Rally and Manx TT in black and white. And then we went back to Dixon's or wherever it was and swapped it and got one that we could get in colour. And then I found out that part of the track that I'd been avoiding on Manx TT wasn't off the track, that was a shadow effect that was on the track. I was steering clear of that, but no, that actually was the racing line. So, you know, that's Christmas there. But yeah, I've always had quite a gaming related Christmas because it's always been like a significant big present that I can share with my brother. So it's always been something like that. We got a PC one year as well, but I got Premier Manager 2 and Lotus and something else that I can't remember right now, which was good until my parents accidentally deleted Windows on it. That was. I think that was actually Christmas Day. That was the installed Encarta. This was 486 in 1994.
The internet on a disc with all the information.
Yeah, pretty much every fact that humanity had managed to collect together up to that point was on that CD. Yeah, they installed Encarta and then they decided that they should try and delete it. And for some reason used DOS to try and delete it and accidentally took down Windows. But that meant we could still play all the games in DOS. So, you know, it just actually became a console then. It was completely useless as a PC, but we could still use it as a console. So
everything's just for playing games anyway. That's how it should be.
Yeah. And then we added Sensible Soccer to that. I think that was a January sale purchase. And to be honest, that's all you need, really, from a computer. So that was okay. Yep. At some point they fixed it, but who cares? Spreadsheets and blah. Yeah, got Sensei. It works.
See, the one thing I do now, having a child, is he gets a lot of gaming-related stuff for birthdays and Christmas. The best thing about it is that the gaming-related stuff he gets, it's obviously because we get review codes and bits like that. I usually get it, play it outside of him. If it's something I know he's really going to want, it gets hidden until Christmas Day. And he tends to get video games in stockings. And when you add it all up, 300 quid's worth of video games, but just thrown in a stocking because, we've been given it. It still hopes to do a mega surprise for him this year, which I'm not going to say in case he does watch this back. But yeah, he's really into it. He always gets some game-related stuff. There's a few DS bits and what have you. He's much luckier than I ever was at Christmas. But I suppose that helps when he's got a father who's.
It's completely unrelated to that, I'm sure. It's absolutely nothing to do with the fact that you like video games. It's just
No,
entirely selfless on your part, entirely.
it is. I wouldn't play them at all. I don't think video games are all that really. There's no point. I'm getting stared at for some reason.
Oh, I'm going to sell it and buy charms for my bracelet.
There you go. My partner's going to sell all our video game stuff and buy charms for a bracelet, which is a really bad parenting decision because none of the stuff is actually technically mine. It's all the son's. So there you go. She's taking from her own child.
This is very true.
My brother's just got a PS4 that he got with his birthday money, so I think that's going to be mostly my Christmas this year. I'll be playing FIFA, and I don't think Drive Club has a local multiplayer mode, does it?
I don't know. I can't remember playing it with anyone. I reviewed it, but I don't remember playing any split screens. I'm going to say no.
I very strongly suspect that's the case. I don't know where the box is. But, yeah,
well, I got frustrated with the multiplayer stuff not working, so it was a case of sack it off. I'm not bothering. I'll play the single player and see how that goes. But I'm not getting into the Drive Club debate tonight.
No, I've just got my copy of it now that they've finished it, which is nice.
It is really good. It is really good.
The way to buy games, I think, is to wait for the developer to finish the game before you buy it. That's what I call a top tip for people who live in the 21st century, where developers release games before they finish them.
Early access.
It was a mess before, but it is a great game. So if it does have a local multiplayer, I'll be playing that, but I very strongly suspect it doesn't.
See, now we're into the realms of Christmas Day games, which is interesting because I got myself a game that's only available in North America because licensing laws and whatever happens means you can't digitally release a game in Europe because someone said so somewhere. I don't know if do you watch Giant Bomb at all?
Very, very occasionally, not really.
Have you seen? You probably won't have the premium subscription then, obviously, for their Unprofessional Fridays. But they've been playing fairly recently a game called the Jackbox Set. It's basically You Don't Know Jack and various other spin-off games from that, which is like a quiz type thing, which is brilliant. Basically, your PlayStation 4 acts as a central hub and a host, and then anyone that's in the room basically logs in with their mobile phone and starts answering questions, doing like there's Pictionary type game and that on there, which just seems like just an absolutely brilliant Christmas Day game. But yeah, I think it's $24, so what, 15 quid at most. But absolutely perfect Christmas Day game that anyone can play, and it's hilarious as well. I sold basically on them guys playing it, which is brilliant. Because there's not enough party games on consoles.
There's not, especially on the new consoles. There's not really been anything, has there, apart from that, which I've only just found out about. There's not been a version of Buzz, and SingStar doesn't seem to have gone very well. And
see, Buzz. I don't know why Buzz didn't succeed. I suppose it was a case of you needed to buy all the extra tat with it, and it was, I think, might have been overpriced at the time. But the concept, I like Buzz. It works really well. It's a game show on your console, and the buzzers are a good idea. And it's very similar to what You Don't Know Jack does, but obviously they've made it easier to play. You don't need, everyone's got a phone pretty much, so you've got what you need there. SingStar for me is as good as SingStar is. It's very inclusive to people who are confident enough or have got a semi-decent voice or don't care what sort of voice they got. I'm not going to get up and play SingStar. I don't care how drunk I get. I'm just not doing it. But one of the other ones I think I really like and I might reinstall for Christmas Day is the Sports Friend stuff on PS4. That's got some very interesting party games. But again, I think that's aimed mainly at people who know what they're doing with a controller. Apart from, I think, it's Johann Sebastian's Joust, which is pretty good. And that can get people involved. But I think a lot of them that are on consoles are very exclusive. I think more board games. I'd like to see more board games released just on consoles as is. Don't worry about any special updates or anything like that. Monopoly, Trivial Pursuit, Risk, Boggle, all those Yahtzee, those sort of things. Get those released, just bog standard recreations of the tabletop games, knock them out for a few quid, or even as a, play pass type thing where you pay for 24 hours to get them. And people buy them. For me, I would love that on my games console would be just to have this lovely selection of classic board games where I haven't got to worry about losing the pieces because it's just on the screen.
Yeah, Ubisoft did a few collections last gen, didn't they? Get Family Games.
EA, that was EA. EA done it, but they done this stupid presentation around it, and it just took away from it. The games should sell themselves.
Yeah, I think it's kind of an iPad thing now. I think that's where that market's gone to with EA's ridiculous version of Scrabble, where you can use your phones as as the little racks to hold your tiles in, and have the main iPad as the board.
It's not a bad idea. It's not the worst idea. But as with so many things, it's too exclusive. It's a lot of stuff, iOS only. Well, that's great, but not everyone's going to have an iPad, so why not release these things on old-gen consoles, next-gen consoles, Android tablets, PC, was it the Ouya box, some people have got those, get them out there, because I'm sure they'd sell, and instead of selling them for full-price titles, knock them out for, £5 to £10. People won't mind doing that. Or, as I said, play passes. I would happily consider, I might not want to own Monopoly and Boggle and pay 20 quid for the privilege of owning them all together, but I'd be happy to pay a fiver to have access to an entire library for 24 hours.
There ought to be a lot more of that. There ought to be collections that are made available for a certain rental fee for, especially things like that you want to do multiplayer for a night. Like they could bundle together a bunch of little games in a kind of curated collection, so you could get things like The Amazing Hidden in Plain Sight directly recommended to people, rather than having to dig through hidden away in whatever that section of Xbox Live used to be called. Just to tell people that things are there, and also do what you've said of throwing in board games and such like, so that you just know that if you load up that thing and pay however much it is for however long, then everything in there is going to be suitable for people to hang around a TV and play silly games without any worries at all. It's just whichever you click is going to be a great game for you to play multiplayer.
Exactly. I mean, SingStars could be a great example of this. At the moment, you've obviously got to pay per track, or, you can buy a load of the old PS2 and PS3 discs and play it on the PS3 version of SingStar. Or it's £1.10 per track downloaded. None of those are compatible with the PS4, so you've got to download the tracks. Hopefully they'll update that so you can use your old discs in the PS4 just as son tracks. But again, that's perfect for going, right, we're going to have a party tonight, $7.99, you get access to the entire SingStar library for 24 hours. It's perfect. Everyone gets a choice of what they want to play. You haven't got to go and spend X amount on just getting individual songs because someone wants that, and it'll keep people coming back to it. Whereas at the moment, you've got to make a heavy investment into those games to make it worthwhile, and casual gamers aren't really going to be up for that. And you've then got to cover everyone's tastes, which again, you're not going to get for a cheap price. But 24-hour play pass or something like that is going to get everyone involved. But it just seems to be a case of these companies want bigger money now rather than going, let's go long term on this, let's make this a service. More stuff I think needs to follow the Netflix style subscription, and I think EA bizarrely are going to be the ones leading the way with that. I think the Vault is a test bed for something bigger. I think we'll soon start seeing larger subscription costs to that for getting access to all their yearly update games. It's in its infancy, but it is definitely heading towards something.
Yeah.
And
Well, their library does kind of lend itself to it more than other people's because, I mean, people are basically subscribing to FIFA or Madden as it is now. They pay £40 subscription at the start of the year, and then they buy another subscription next year that they just actually have to go to a shop and just swap it for it. But it is as near as damn a subscription. It's not something that people are going out and buying as an individual game. It's something that they want for a year and they expect to buy another version next year. It does definitely for EA. It seems something that they could do quite easily, really. But yeah, I think people quite like to own a physical item. I think that's what they like to promote still. I think if they had I think if they were doing that for one branch of games, then they'd not really want to move it into others because, there's the selling the super limited edition things and all the bonus tat, which they must make a significant amount of their money from special editions because there's no way that's an extra 30 quid's worth of stuff. It's an extra fivers worth of stuff that they make 25 quid of pure profit on.
don't get me wrong. You look at something like The Last of Us or GTA 5, to a lesser extent, maybe Far Cry 4. The Last Guardian, if it ever comes out, those sort of things. Yeah, they're one of a kind games. They're one off, or you might get a sequel a couple of years down the line, or 30 years down the line in the case of any of the Team Eco games. And fine, they're great. Get your physical editions of those, or you pay your £40-50 that you would for that. But I think when it comes to things like FIFA, like NHL, like Madden, like NBA, those that are quite clearly yearly iterations, and you are just essentially paying a yearly subscription. Obviously, with the printed disc versions of those, they're losing out quite a bit of money from those as it goes to down the line. Whereas I reckon if they basically put the engine online and then sold a subscription at X amount per year for those games, they could quite possibly earn more money through that for those games than they would by having it as a full-blown physical product. And I think people will be happier with that because you're going to have your fans who are happy to pay X amount per year or X amount per month for access to them. And it allows people to dip in. I don't want to pay 50 quid plus for Madden when I'm not sure if I'm going to like the sport or whether I'm going to get on with it because I'm not a big fan of the rules. But I'm happy if I've got it as part of my subscription, or I get a free trial on a subscription, or pay it for a month. If I like it, I might carry on playing it. And it's a lower entry, a lower barrier for people to get into it. So there's a lot that could be done. And again, you're looking at if you've got someone over for the weekend, or you're having a sports evening, you pay a subscription for a day, and you get access to FIFA for the day. You haven't got to go out and buy it or hope that someone's got it. You stick your money in, you play. Stuff like that probably is, a fair way off until we've got the ability for everyone to get digital stuff easily, decent broadband connections, but it can happen. It probably will happen at some point, but I think that's going to be the better option than the streaming stuff that they're planning. I'm still not 100% convinced on PlayStation Now, which has those ideas of 24-hour passes and stuff. But I don't see what worries they've got with being able to say, here's your game, here's a date stamp on it. As soon as that date stamp ends, you don't get access to it until you pay again. So, quickly going back to the subject of best Christmas gaming gifts, in true professional manners, I've been handed a note. Look at that, a note. apparently the best gaming memory, which would be for my partner, was begging for a Game Boy, and being told that getting hold of it would be a waste of money and so on. Getting said Game Boy and hardly being able to touch it due to the parents basically stealing it and playing it all day on Christmas Day. So it was a waste of money because they was hogging it.
That is a great story. I don't think it would have happened in mine. Although my mum did end up quite liking columns, it's got to be said, on the Game Gear. So it's...
Oh, see, I'm a Game Boy guy, so it's Tetris. Columns is always, I didn't mind columns, but it was always the poorer of the two.
The Game Gear version of columns that was in the 4-in-1 cartridge was a completely different game. You started with like 5 or 6 layers of gems, and then you had to mine down to get to the bottom layer where there was one flashing, and then get rid of that to complete the level, rather than the building up and scoring points individually. There was actually a target for it. It was completely different, and as far as I know, they've never done anything like it since. It was just they put that on there, and then they forgot about that idea.
So where would someone buy one of these newfangled Game Gears?
On a EasyJet flight, I believe. It's yeah, seriously, they have.
Oh, they got those little
old things, yeah.
Officially licensed Sega knockoff consoles.
Yeah, basically.
Yes. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I tried to buy one on a flight once, and sadly they'd sold out. Presumably, quite a rush for the Game Gear fanatics on that trip to Spain. I was quite disappointed, to be honest, but it's got all kinds of good games on it. I believe it has got that 4-in-1 cartridge on it, and it's got Tales of Adventure on it as well, which is a brilliant game that no one's ever played.
Excellent.
Genuinely one of the best Sonic games. Probably like 3rd or 4th best after the famous ones.
Yeah. It hasn't got much competition in all fairness, because every other Sonic game after that's pretty much rubbish.
Yeah, and it was released at kind of peak Sega Sonic time when they were actually concentrating on making games rather than just concentrating on making extra characters to put in the games. But they used to be good, Sega. They used to be good.
So while we're on the subject of obviously Sega and Christmas, they need to release Shenmue HD, because I want to play that at Christmas again. I no longer have a Dreamcast, I no longer have Shenmue. I want to play Shenmue at Christmas because it has to be done. Shenmue HD, stick it on PSN, stick it on Xbox Live Arcade, is it still? I don't know, but stick it on there, I'd buy it. Spend hundreds upon thousands of dollars just so I can buy Shenmue, is what I say.
Good. I've got a funny feeling my copy of Shenmue is actually in reaching distance, but I'm not going to try. Sega were always good with Christmas because you had Christmas nights as well, which was a great game.
Yes.
That was lovely.
I miss my Saturn. See, I'm not going for it, but Sega had the best consoles that just never ever worked. The Game Gear was a great idea, the Dreamcast was amazing, the Saturn was a brilliant console. The idea of trying to extend the games console's life by doing your add-ons with your Mega CD and your 32X was a very good idea, just really badly executed. It just seems to be the idea of Sega's entire history is that's not a bad idea, but in practice it doesn't work.
Yeah, bless them.
Yeah.
The year's target audience really was basically just me, of people who intended to play it while sat next to a plug socket with it plugged in, so you didn't have to use batteries, because as soon as you put batteries in it, the batteries died. I'm
pretty sure a friend of mine had a Game Gear, and I'm pretty sure they had this huge, massive battery pack extender thing that was about 3 times the size of the Game Gear itself, which you can get 25 minutes.
There was definitely one of those for the Atari Lynx. Someone I knew had that, which was, it was basically the same thing that you said, of a huge expansion type thing. But it really did need plugging into a wall. That was...
Yeah, the Game Boy just lasted forever.
It's because it only had 2 colours and neither of them were white.
Well, I'm pretty sure as well, if I was to find my original Game Boy and start it up now, it's probably still got the original batteries in it. And it would still be going after being chucked under a truck and run over and dropped from a high building and still not be broken.
Yeah, it's powered by cockroaches. That's the actual secret to that. That's why
It would outlast a cockroach in nuclear war.
it's quite a machine, but it's not a Game Gear, is it? It's just not.
My best memory of the Game Gear, actually, I was in the Army Cadets when I was younger. Obviously not now because that'd be weird.
There's laws.
And which World Cup? It was one of the World Cup games. I can't remember, but someone came in with it and they had the TV adapter. Possibly was 94. Would have been 94. It would have been the 94 World Cup. Someone's come in. They've got
Game Gear World Cup games there were, and I knew that was the Game Gear World Cup game.
Yeah,
so
fair enough. But they had the TV adapter, and there was like loads of us around a plug socket with a Game Gear with the TV adapter in it, watching this really bad signalled game of football on the tiny little screen that had colours, but you could just about barely make it out. That would, if you got that on some dodgy internet stream now, you'd be thoroughly disgusted with it. But yeah, that was a great experience.
The world's most dangerous aerials ever that stick out and are liable to take out anybody's eye within about 2 meters, because you get a massive wingspan of aerials that they must have been a meter or so wide, and it's just designed to kill people. There's health and safety gone mad, but I don't think that sort of thing should be allowed.
It doesn't matter. If you get in the way, it's your fault. But the problem is, they're useless. That is a technology now. That is an innovation that is now completely useless because there's no analog signals left.
I don't know if it could do radio. Maybe it could do radio as well.
I think it did do radio as well, but generally that's going to be all digital soon. At some point.
But if you've got one, then don't give up hope yet. It's still available. Please listen to Radio 2 on your old console with lethal aerials. That would be excellent.
But it's not a portable radio because you can't go more than 2 meters from a plug socket for 10 minutes.
They really, really planned that console out. It was amazing.
It is. It's one of those. I'd love to go back and hear what was the the brainstorming session for that, because everything must have sounded brilliant about that. Handheld Sega. We can put Sonic on it. We can put this on it. We can do that. We can get these things. If you watch live TV on it, you can get the radio on it. It's a beautiful colour screen, amazing graphics, better than what Nintendo can do. That must have been going through that, going, yeah, this is great. At no point someone's gone, we need to think about the power consumption of this. At no point has anyone done that. Either that or they've gone, it's not going to last more than 5 minutes, but people are mugs anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, just imagine someone in the back of the meeting going, but the battery, but the power, but
yeah.
And everyone's just going, ignore that guy. We could have full color graphics. We could have a version of Mortal Kombat. It'll be amazing. Yeah.
But it still was fun. I've got to give it that. It was fun. It's no N-Gage.
It was a genuinely good console. It just wasn't a portable console. It was just a small console that you held in your hands. The portable was a lie.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, as long as you sat next to a power socket, then yeah, it was great.
Whereas now I can play Resogun on my Vita, so that's how far technology has come. Because that came out today, and it is amazing.
I've not downloaded it yet, but I'm sure I will be very soon. How is it?
Wonderful. It's for the people who like to count their frames and really, really care. It's not 60 frames per second, and to be honest, it is noticeable. It doesn't stop it being fun because it is a solid 30 frames per second. I've not noticed any drops so far, and it's just Resogun. It's not got all the extras yet that the console version's got. Well, I'll say the PS4 version because this is also released on PS3, which is identical to the Vita version. So it's bare bones Resogun, but that's not a bad thing. It's Resogun on the go natively. it's joyful. It really is joyful, and so little people have actually played it so far. I was currently fourth on the leaderboards in the world, which I dare say I'm not going to be by tomorrow morning.
I suspect you're going to be now. Now you told people it's out, because Sony haven't told me it's out yet. It was you told me earlier. That's when.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be 2 extra people that are going to be playing it. 3 if we include you. That's if the 2 people watching us right now actually have. I haven't got the Q&A up, but I've got loads of questions.
I have got the Q&A up in a professional manner, and no, there aren't a great deal of questions in there.
Excellent. But yeah, it's brilliant. No stutters at all. No issues with frame rates, which is what I wish I could say about Tetris Ultimate. A game that was perfect 25 years ago. Yeah, it's about 25 years, isn't it? That originally came out.
89.
It's perfect, absolutely perfect. That didn't have any issues with stutter or frames per second, but apparently Ubisoft, who are this year's bad guys, because EA seem to be good guys at the moment, they're giving stuff away. Ubisoft can't make a version of Tetris that doesn't have stutter. It doesn't lose frames and it struggles to connect to the internet for some reason, even on a perfect connection. Playing it earlier, it's great. Early levels you can put up with the odd little stutter because it's moving so slow. You hit level 8 or 9 and the tetrominos are flying down, you suddenly get a bit of a frame rate drop. That's your game over, because they're flying down, you haven't moved it, all of a sudden you're buggered.
Great drop in Tetris. That is a ridiculous sentence that should never ever be spoken ever. That's just a point. That's it's really, isn't it? That's like giving a 40 gigabyte patch for your game. Oh, Ubisoft did that today as well. So
what was that for? The crew?
No, it was for Assassin's Creed Unity.
Have they not just given up on that yet?
No, they released a 6.7 gigabyte patch today, which was meant to fix things, but for some reason, if you've got the digital version on the Xbox One, it decides that you've got to download the whole game again instead. So that's another 40 gigabyte download.
Modern gaming, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
bad. It's really bad. Back in the day, and being able to play Tetris on the go was just amazing, and golf. Just golf. And that's all it was. Golf. Tennis. Tennis was just tennis, but with a little Mario umpire. Brilliant. Absolutely superb. They were just fun. They didn't try and do anything out of the ordinary. Super Mario World on the SNES. Super Mario 3. Chrono Trigger, I believe I had on the SNES. Might have been one of them. They worked. They just worked, and they were fun to play. Now they get all kinds of innovations. They've got endless technology to their name, and we can't make Tetris run properly on a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, that is something about the modern Christmas day, which is just not going to be as fun for kids that have received big shiny new consoles, who are just going to spend all of Christmas Day downloading things, just watching a little bar tick across slowly, which will go even slower than it would on any other day because of the entire universe trying to download things for the first time. And
yeah,
that's not going to be a great Christmas. That's literally worse than deleting Windows by accident whilst trying to get rid of Encarta.
20 years' time, someone's going to be doing something like this, and they're going to go, so tell us about your gaming Christmas. And it's going to be, I've done a lot of watching stuff install, an update, and then I tried to put the game in after the console updated, and there was another update, and it was still broken, so I didn't play it, and then it was bedtime.
But I had some turkey, and the turkey was lovely. So that's my gaming memory of 2014. Was from that.
Turkey burnt because we spent so long watching the updates.
Oh, poor kids, poor kids. Yeah.
That's why we're having. And I probably shouldn't be doing this because it's obviously a video games show. It's going to be a tabletop gaming Christmas this year. because tabletop gaming just it works. There's no updates and no patches.
Some of them do have patches, to be fair.
No, but I can play, Adventure Time Card Wars or Pixel Lincoln and World of Warcraft cardy fighty games and stuff like that, and it works. Even if it's not good, or there's booster packs and updates, it works. You're not going to suddenly put a card down and have it fall through the table because there's some kind of weird glitch on it. Or sit down and set up and go, hang on, you've got to wait till we've delivered the other 50 cards that were meant to come with it, but we decided we wasn't going to do it.
The definitive Christmas tabletop game for me has to be Dixit. If you've never played Dixit, I highly
No, but I'm interested in it. But it's blockers this year.
Game that works really well, and it feels properly Christmassy. Probably because I only really play it at Christmas, but it does feel like a really Christmassy, pretty nice game for anyone to be able to play. So that is my.
I might get that. Might look at that, but no, it's blockers this year, and Scrabble. And Jenga. We've got Jenga Boom.
What is Jenga Boom? Does it explode like pop-up pirates? Please tell me it's like a pop-up pirate.
Yeah, basically it's Jenga and it's got a bomb on the bottom of it.
It's not Jenga, it's an opposite Jenga. You build it up.
It's the opposite of Jenga. You need to build it up rather than take it off. And then it goes boom.
You have to build up Jenga as well. You have to take the pieces off and put them on the top.
Yeah, no, but I think you literally start with nothing and you build it as part of the game.
Right.
But yeah, that's going to be our Christmas. Probably hardly much going on the screen at all.
Xbox One.
Unless he gets his Xbox One, but then we'll put that on and he'll watch it update while we play Blockers and Jenga Boom and stuffs.
That's a cracking downloadable Christmas there. So yeah, yep. That is the Gamestyle top tip for Christmas, not video games.
Yes, Gamestyle say screw video games this Christmas. Come back in 2015 because it'll be better.
Topic, but we've somehow managed to make ourselves unemployed as well. But great workers.
I run the site, so it's fine.
You're fine.
But in the last 3 weeks, I've managed to sort of convince us that the reviews are bad and screw video games.
Yay! Excellent work, team.
But generally that's it. That seems to be everyone's shtick when they do these recording things. We love video games, but video games, they're rubbish, they're broken. Jim Sterling makes a bloody career off of it, for God's sake.
Bless him.
He does. But at least, hey, we've got through 2014, and we haven't had to have a discussion about Gamergate. That's the Christmas message. Bless us all.
Yes.
Right. With that, I've got a beep in my ear because my headphones are dying. Look, they've gone red. So they're about to die in a second. This is our last show of 2014, including early access. We might have a plus cast coming soon as well. So that might be on. We're running out of games to review. So don't expect daily content. I think we've done well over a month of daily content now. But it's all going to slow down for Christmas. We have still got a few bits coming. Start of the new year, we've got Game of the Year. We'll be running through that. We've got some big changes to the site. We've got a new logo coming at some point. And that will probably lead into a bit of an overhaul on the site design itself. I'm going to try and improve my technology so we're not as stuttery and rubbish. I feel like it's Gamestyle Live as sponsored by Ubisoft with how much this all started, so we apologise for that. But yeah, we started late in the year with all this and it's good. I'm surprised at how well it's been taken. We got Carl Bosman on last week, which is still blowing my mind. I still can't believe that's happened. So we might get some big guests next year, or that might be it. That might be the peak We'll at least get Steve back next year, because I feel we need Steve.
We need
Because
Steve.
I've been doing too much talking, so I apologise for that. Yeah, we miss you, Steve. But yeah, so I suppose it leaves for us to say, well, before there, see, look, I'm just useless. I'm just now. Anything you want to say before we sign off, Andrew?
I don't think so. I think this has been a thoroughly Christmas-based episode. I think we probably should just sign off by wishing everybody Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and forwards into 2015.
Indeed. Look forward to your Christmas Day updates, everyone. Take care.
Good night.